This is going to be interesting one to talk about from a scheduling point of view because it's daylight savings weekend, but we're heading south of the American border for the Mexico City Grand Prix. Let's have a bit of a talk about it and the different things that we can look at around the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez this weekend. Starting off the schedule, we have a few different support series. None of them are going to be the FOM standard series. We have Formula 4 NACAM, we have TCR Mexico, we have GTM Supercopa as well. So these are all more local series to Mexico. Well, NACAM is North America, Canada, America, and Mexico. But we'll start off for the Friday and Saturday, you take away 7 hours. For the Sunday, you take away 6 because daylight savings ends here in the UK, but it doesn't in Mexico because I think if Mexico City observes it, they change at a different time, much like the United States. So we start off with the F1 NACAM. I'm going to give the F1 ones in UK time as well. 8:35 AM for F4 NACAM, then TCR practice at 9:40, GTM practice at 10:30. F1 FP1 is at 12:30 local, 7:30 PM UK. There's GTM Supercopa practice 2 PM. F1 FP2 is at 4 PM local, 11 PM UK time. Then you have TCR Mexico first race at 5:30. On the Saturday, F4 NACAM qualifying 9:25. TCR second race 10:15. F1 FP3 is at 11:30 local time. That is 6:30 UK. GTM first race is at 1 o'clock local. Then F1 qualifying at 3 PM local, 10 PM UK. NACAM's first race is at 4:45 local. That ends the Saturday action. For Sunday, it starts off with the NACAM F4 at 8:30 local. And then you have the GTM Supercopa second race at 10 AM local. At 11 AM, you have the TCR Mexico. And then the Mexico City Grand Prix starts at 2 PM local time, 8 PM UK time. And since we don't seem to have to talk about the weather too much, it looks like it should be dry throughout the weekend. Let's have a bit of a recap on the 2024 race. It was a first and third for Ferrari that weekend. Carlos Sainz ended up winning and he took the pole position as well. Lando Norris is in second, Charles Leclerc in third. Then it was the two Mercedes of Hamilton and Russell ahead of Max Verstappen because Oscar Piastri was down in 8th behind Kevin Magnussen. Mind you though, Piastri himself ended up out in Q1 and started 17th. So climbing back up to 8th was a good run. He was the high climber over the course of the race. Now, in terms of what that means to the ones to watch, it means the Red Bull advantage that I've talked about quite a bit that was there in recent years for altitude circuits, predominantly Mexico City and the Red Bull Ring, is not as clear now. I mean, that's been diminishing as the era has evolved. But I would say, still keep an eye out for Max Verstappen. He has performed well here in the past. He qualified second last year and he's won here before as well. I would say that this is another sign that Ferrari should be able to do quite well. I did say it about Cota, and Leclerc was arguably the second best driver behind Max Verstappen. So I would say that don't be surprised if Norris and Leclerc are battling up towards the front again this year. I wouldn't be surprised if Lewis Hamilton's up towards the pointy end. But, as always, although he was a minute off the win last year, I would not rule out Max Verstappen. From what I remember, he had some kind of mechanical issue in last year's Mexico City Grand Prix. He's good at this track, and the Red Bull has become more aerodynamically efficient now as well, especially since that Monza upgrade. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have Lando, Leclerc, Verstappen, and perhaps Hamilton battling it all out. Piastri could do, but at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily think that this is one of his better weekends when it comes to performances on track. We'll have to wait and see, though. This is the thing, for the last few races of the season, these are going to be the trickiest ones for Piastri. These are the ones that he has less experience in, especially relative to the two people he's battling for the Drivers' Championship. So, we'll have to wait and see all of that, but if you were asking me what I expect there to be a Leclerc-Norris-Verstappen battle up at the front, and Piastri and Hamilton to be slightly behind that. Then possibly Russell and Antonelli. Tsunoda, it's hard to tell. He was involved in that collision at the start of last year's race with Alex Albon. That collision where he went flying. So, we'll have to wait and see on that one. It's the longest run to turn one out of this season, so anything could happen. Anyways, folks, those are my thoughts, feelings, and observations. Thank you so much for watching and joining as always, and until next time, it's bye-bye for now.